Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Why you so stressed? It's not that serious. And free your mind. It's gonna be alright. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe.
Good afternoon. You're tuned into Glory 93.9 FM, and it is that time again, 2 minutes past the 4 o'clock hour, and it is officially Girl Talk time with your two favorite people in the whole wide world. It's your girl,
Mericha
and Joinae, and we are so glad to be in your company today. How are you doing? How are you doing, Mericha? How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? Hi.
I don't think I asked you how you doing when yeah. How you doing? How are you doing?
You said I took that?
Yeah. How you doing though?
I'm sleepy, but I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. Good.
How many teas? Like 1 or 2?
Good. 1 tea.
1 tea. Okay, that's good.
But plenty O's.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. I'm all right.
You all right? Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Not really fully there yet, but we're on our way. Thank you for all those tuning in to Glory 93.9 FM, our Facebook family, our
Hi,
YouTube,
peoples.
Twitter, and those who may be listening to this podcast after. Hey.
Hello.
It is a very interesting topic today. We are discussing, and I'm going straight in. We are discussing.
Are you going straight in?
Oh, yeah.
No preliminaries.
No.
All right, let's do it.
He cheated.
Now what?
He cheated.
Now what?
Could we extend that? Could we
Your
say
earrings are really nice. Just flip it around so people can see them.
which one? This one here?
Ah, my God.
There we go. Shando.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
He cheated. Sorry.
He cheated now.
Oh my gosh, Denisha, why you like that? Hi, Salisa. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Denisha. Hi, Janae.
Why you like
Denisha,
that?
I just miss 2 services. That's all.
It feels like forever for her.
It feels like forever.
Okay, so that,
Denisha, you can see me tomorrow.
okay. See, now we get that straight.
He cheated. Now what?
I know if I'm ready yet. Let's just stick a pin right there.
You don't know if you're ready?
I'm ready, but I just want to stick a pin right there.
Okay, all right.
For a moment. Our text and call lines are
Oh,
open.
I gotta put them up.
We can put them up on the screen.
Put
If you
'em
want
up,
to text
put 'em up.
anonymously, you can text us at 828-2543.
Put them up.
Hey, baby. 828-2543 is our text line, and our call line is 828-3543. They are on your screen right now. Today's discussion, we want...
That's how long I love you.
Every time I do an intro, Mericha, it's have these background music with dead loud.
Sorry, Sakura. That's how
That's the quiet one. Holy Ghost and
fire.
fire. We already said hey to our Facebook people. Hey. How are you guys
Hi,
doing
Shakara. Hi, Joinae husband. Hi,
Why you
Janae.
today? Janae again. Janae, okay, same energy, right? I want you guys to post if cheating is a deal breaker.
Okay, yeah. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes, cheating is a deal breaker. No, it isn't. And if you would like to expound, we're welcome. We're welcoming
Feel
your...
free. Now, usually I would have some great definition and some...
Yeah, we ain't doing that today.
No, I didn't. The Lord didn't say that
He didn't
on
say that.
today. He didn't say that on today. But if you don't want to type on Facebook Live, don't forget you can text us, or if you want to give us a call, please, I want you to share this live broadcast. Text a friend, tell a friend we are on Girl Talk, and he cheated. Now what?
So I have a story.
Mericha,
I do.
Gorgeous
I have a story.
Gorgeous story.
I was 17. I have not really told a lot of people this story, so this could
And
be...
this way you want to tell it?
This is how it is, baby. Girl Talk is bringing out all my business.
Whoa.
Okay,
Hey,
so
Michelle.
I have a story. Here's my story, and I'm going to tell the 17-year-old story because
Okay.
I'm not going to be like them people who they be making it seem like they tell an old story, but it's actually
It's
a
really
current
new,
story.
right.
No, this is actually an old story.
Okay.
So I was 17, and y'all don't judge me. I was engaged. My fiance was 35 at the time.
What?
Yes, and
Hold on.
I said, "Don't judge me."
Oh, you said I went there. You said that. You said it already. You
Yes.
said don't judge you.
Don't judge me.
I missed that part. Honestly, I read it. And you
Y'all
said that.
come for my host because you're judging me, and I don't appreciate it. Like I really don't appreciate.
Okay, go ahead.
a
Go ahead.
judgment.
17 and 35.
Getting ready to get married. Getting ready to get married. And he didn't live in the country at the time. Bahamian, but didn't live in the country. He had a job outside of the country. So I would travel back and forth. Yeah, my lady won't be stable
Yeah,
today.
but I
Like the
need
foundation in,
Yeah, anger. They need to hold.
as you talk to the mic.
Okay, go ahead. Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah.
You were engaged, 35.
He
70.
was not living in the country, so
Somebody
I used to
35,
travel.
75. Uh-huh.
So 17, let me put this in context. I was graduated from high school. I was transitioning into college. Okay? And we were dating from I was in high school, obviously. And
Janae? Janae, you see this?
oh man, Janae said the show start off powerful. So long story short.
No, don't make it short.
No. I made the long story short. So, I'd known him for a long time.
Okay.
Families were really connected, all that stuff. And so one day somebody walks up to me. I never forget it. I'm in Solomon's. Solomon's, that's like on the highway, shopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a ring, Shakara. I did have a ring. So I'm walking through Solomon's, and somebody walks up to me, and they was like, "You out of the house already? Like, what's going on with you?" Out of the house already? I was confused, but when people say things and it's
You
in
don't-
passing,
Yeah, you don't really feel like talking.
you don't really want to talk to them,
Right.
right?
Just say,
And this
yeah.
wasn't my friend; this was one of his friends. So I ignored the comment and just kept pushing. And then
This friend was a male or female?
female coworker actually. So that happened, and then after that I got a BBM. This was back in the day.
Wow. I would say baby answer. What?
I got a BBM, a BlackBerry message, and you could have sent everything over BlackBerry
Right.
message back in the day. So I got a BBM from his sister.
Y'all better lose it.
I got
Okay,
a
which
BBM
one
for
is-
his sister, and the BBM says, "Hey, have you seen the christening photos yet? Let me send them to you right now before I walk out the door."
This is who? Sister?
His sister. "Hey, have you seen the christening photos yet? Let me send them to you before I walk out of the
Who
door."
christening?
That's the questions we need.
Well, why sis message you?
QTNA. Because sis always has messaged me. Always. Sis and I used to talk just about every day. Okay? So sis sends me christening pictures with my fiance standing next to a woman I do not know, christening a big, old 9-month-old child. Like not like a infant
Wow.
who is 1, 2, 3 months, a 9-month-old. So I did what any normal person would do in this situation. You go to the person that you were in a relationship with and you inquire by asking questions, but not letting the person know that you already have the answers to the questions. This is what we do. So I asked the question. So I said, you've been having some fun lately. I don't know about you've been doing some things or whatever. He's like, no, what you talking about? I was like, okay, let me just ask you a question. Did you cheat on me? I just like straight up, no, Mericha, I would never do that to you. I said, okay. I said, okay. I said, do you have any children? Why would you ask me that question? You know that ain't no true. You know if I get children, I'd tell you. I mean, I know I old, but I ain't no children. This was the statement that I would never forget. So I said to him, I said, I'm going to ask you this one last time. I said, you have never cheated on me and you don't have any children. And he said, Mericha, I would never embarrass you like that. I would never forget those words till I die.
This person. Anyway.
He said he would never embarrass me like that. So I took out my BlackBerry, and I had the touch screen one.
Fancy.
I had the touch screen BlackBerry. So I took out my BlackBerry, I opened the BBM Messenger, and showed him the photos.
Oh, this in person? You asked this
Yeah,
question?
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I showed him the photos. And he looked at me. I never forget it. I took it out. I had a Prada bag. I took it out of my Prada bag. I never forget this. I took it out of the bag. And I showed it to him. He went quiet. And I said, you cheated. I could have gotten past it. That's what I said to him. I said, you cheated. I could have gotten past it. I said, here's what I cannot get past. I said, it ain't the lying, because I know you think that's what I'm about to say. I said, it's the fact that you lied about a child that I can't get over. So that's why I'm done. That's why I'm walking away from this relationship. And I know what everybody can say I'm wrong, but I gave him back his ring because I didn't want it.
Why people say you're wrong?
Because people just say keep the ring and then go pawn it and stuff that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he gave it back to me, and I did and eventually end up pawning it off. But because he's like, the ring is mine, it ain't his or whatever, blah blah blah. And so I was in,
I gotta say something so petty, something. Anyway, go ahead.
So basically, the bottom line of my story is that in that situation, in that moment, I had so much time, love, effort, sacrifice invested into that relationship that I was willing to look past the cheating. But I couldn't look past you lying about a whole child.
Okay, so I want to piggyback, right?
Lord Jesus.
I want to piggyback to co-worker saying you out already.
She thought the baby was mine.
Okay, that's the part of the story I really want. You out already?
She thought the baby was mine. So her thing was like, what I doing out and about?
Wow.
And this would have been.
So that means that he told people.
No, that means people knew.
No, but
Right. So the whole statement about you not embarrassing me is exactly what you did.
Jesus.
Because even after we broke up, people still thought the baby was mine. Because whatever pictures he would have posted on his high five and on his tagged.
Jesus, high five.
No, seriously, the pictures were posted on tagged and high five, and there were pictures with just him and the baby. And then he had pictures of me on his high five and on his tagged. So people was like, well, 2 + 2 = 3.
Right.
I mean, 4.
I know what you mean.
I went to say 1 + 2. 1 + 2 = 3. So they see him with a baby. They see a picture with me. So common sense says,
Baby,
this girl, baby. Yeah. Now, the crazy part about all of this is to this day, he is still back and forth in custody battles with this girl trying to get access to his child. To this day. Like, to this day. To this day. To this day.
And he lives in Nassau?
No, he does not live in this country.
He's a smart man.
Yeah. No, he don't live here. In fact, he never really lived here after that. He never moved back home after that. He always was about outside the country. Yeah. Which was actually really, it made it easy for me to get over him, actually. Because he was never here.
Let's go to some comments because I don't have no more questions right now. What Crystal you reaching?
Wait, what is going on?
Sorry, going fast.
You weren't reading them though. You gotta read them.
Sorry. K Forbes says. Sorry, I just was reading fast and going through.
Say she thought only her son get Christian lady. That's powerful.
I mean, G2.
This is true. He was a big effort.
Yes.
Getting Christian.
Big grown man. He could walk.
So we can't go back in time and cut a movie. Eh?
That's why I asked why if he was in Nassau or not.
No, man. I ain't got no time for that.
So Lisa says, dead man walking, because why? I just find out 9 months.
So, Lisa, do your maths. That's 18 months, boo.
Jesus.
Actually, technically 19. Because we say gestational period is 9 months, but it's actually 10.
Yeah.
It's actually 10 months. So, 19 months. 19 months after you did what you did.
But see, in cases like this, people usually attack the female.
I don't care
Like
about that.
females usually attack.
I don't know her. I don't know her from a can of paint.
So
I do not know her, and I did not care to know her, because here's the thing. I wasn't confused as to the terms of this cheating situation. I knew that he didn't have a relationship with this woman. I knew it was a one-night stand. That's something that I knew.
Oh, I thought this was like another
No,
whole
no, no,
relationship
no, no,
going
no,
on.
no,
And
no, no, no. No, this wasn't. No. Mm-mm. 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 Now, to me, that speaks of your character. If you could just like sleep with somebody, like you don't know, like you just meet them that night and you could just sleep with them, then I mean. Say the pressure is getting
Worse.
worse. What Raquel say? Raquel say you wasn't wrong, boo. I would have nursed him. I would have nursed. You want to say bursing? She meant to say burst. There we go. What off? What glasses say? Y'all so quiet, man, with these one words. Oh,
Wow, because it's a lot to take in, because I don't even know what
say. This is powerful. Well,
Mr.
Mr.
Monka, where are
Monka.
you? Mr. Monka, could you help us?
The
Yeah.
math was Martha and just not you. Listen to me. The math was Martha. It's just that people thought it was mine. Donzel, you think so? You think he was on an agenda? I think he was just stupid. I think he just made a stupid mistake. Oh, Lord, Denisha say rubbish.
And
I can't forgive a baby.
Right.
Sorry.
But I mean, that's tough.
See, here's the thing.
Would it have been different if
If he had told me
about the one night stand and then
the girl got pregnant?
Right.
Yeah.
Would it still be a baby issue then?
No.
So it isn't really a baby issue then?
No. The issue wasn't that you had a child. The issue was that you brought a child into this world and lied about it. You would basically what you were saying to me, this child does not exist. You could kill. Because that's your child. And what would you do with the children I have for you? What you could do when you feeling like you don't want nobody to know about them, you could disown that?
Wow.
What does it look like? No, So that's what it was for me. It was about the fact that this child did not only exist. You standing up taking pictures showing teeth. Grinning.
Y'all color coordinate for this. They was wearing the same
White
color?
shirt and jeans.
Why did they die?
I'd never forget that picture. White tops and jeans. Denim. White and denim. Maud say, what about those who cheat just looking, lusting, but never touch? But according to the scripture, you already slept with them. Now, Monique Maud Brown, you going in heavy.
Very quickly.
Heavy, ma'am. Because
That's
you have a
serious.
good point.
That's
you have a good
serious.
point there.
But the thing is, you wouldn't know.
No.
They would have to tell the truth.
And then we probably guilty of that too.
Right. So who's going to tell the truth?
Because, I mean, you know, if Morris Chestnut walk in this room right now, my attention will be caught. Yeah, something just put Morris. Morris and, I ain't calling him.
I know Morris. Yeah. Okay. I mean, to God be the glory.
This is powerful in my Rodney Bunker voice. What Donzel said, this is you trying to say my life should be a Netflix series?
Listen.
I ain't feeling that. I ain't about that. Say, thing is, this one night stand exposed him. What if he's
Right.
done more? Now, that's a very good question, Mom. That's Kara's mom. Hey, Mom.
Mom.
I actually never asked those questions. I never did. I never asked if this was the first time. I never questioned. In the past, it never crossed my mind like there was a possibility that my boyfriend, who eventually became my fiance, would cheat on me. That was never the thing that I was worried about him. All of us have a thing that we worry about with our significant other. All of us. If we tell the truth, we have like a thing.
Hold on, Mericha. Now, what you gonna do?
It's called people out there.
No, but you don't say my husband on there. But
No.
don't follow up, Mericha, with Morris Chestnut. Baby, I said nothing about Morris
I
Chestnut.
didn't see him. Anyway,
Go ahead.
so all of us, I believe all of us have a thing that we're concerned about, whether it's a habit that they have,
Yeah.
whether it's something that they've done in the past, whether it's something that was exposed during the relationship and we didn't like it or whatever. We all have at least one. Some of us have
Yeah.
more than one. Like
Yeah.
this person that you're with, like you know what their trigger is, or there's something that you're concerned about, like if they get into this, or if this gets access to them, or if this is in their vicinity, you would be concerned about it. And I believe we should all know that if we're really in relationship with somebody, like we should know what our significant other's triggers are. We should know, because we're supposed to be a part of their accountability, and also we should be protecting them
Right.
from getting access to those things. So for me, it wasn't the cheating. I know that in the past his issue was drinking. So that's what my eyes were on. What are you consuming? To the point like where I wouldn't even let him eat rum cake when he was around me. Like, no, you're not gonna have it in any form. Like, you're not gonna have anything. No, you're not even gonna have a non-alcoholic beer. Like, you're not gonna have any of it. And that's how I was with him when we were together. So that's where my focus was, because that's what was exposed to me.
Right.
And I think a lot of us, when we find ourselves in a situation where, okay, we're women, this guy has cheated, and I want to make sure that we're clear that that's what we're talking about, just in case anybody's confused. We're women talking about he cheated, now what? Glory to God. So, as women, okay, you find out that this man has cheated on you, and when you go back and look at it, you weren't concerned about him and another woman. The concern that you had was that he was bad with money, so you was watching how he was
Right,
spending money.
right.
And he was spending money fine, so your eyes weren't on the thing that you were exposed to. And I think a lot of us, we enter into relationships and we don't expose ourselves enough to the persons that we're with. And so
I feel like who really exposes themselves? Like, you want someone to like you, so I won't show you the worst parts of me, because I may run you and I want you to stay.
well, we can need to see that.
Ugh.
We can need to see that. Han having a child and telling me about it is worse, because the day you tell me is the day you lose me. And I understand.
So that's a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker for her. It wasn't a deal breaker for me, but here's the thing. I think a part of the reason it wasn't a deal breaker for me is because I come from a family where I have outside siblings. And outside siblings. Siblings that were born in my parents' marriage, but not by my mother.
Okay.
You understand?
I
But I
understand.
don't refer to them as outside siblings. They are my sisters. That's who they are. They are not my half sisters. No, those are my sisters. Like, I will never be like, oh, this is my sister so and so. We don't have the same mommy. No. People will have to have a
Yeah.
deep
I
conversation
have to know.
with us in order for like they would have to hear me say something like, girl, you need to talk to your mommy or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then
Yeah.
they'll catch on and be like,
Okay.
well, hold on, her mommy and your mommy ain't the
Okay,
same person.
I
Like,
understand.
it would have to be something like that, because I would never paint the picture to say, well, oh,
This is what happened. and-
exactly.
Right.
I think because I came from a family like that where I saw the good that could come out of telling the truth and working on a marriage, even though at the end of the day it still came to an end. Like, I saw the good that came out of it. I saw the level
Okay.
of commitment.
I understand.
I saw the transparency. I saw like fighting your way to wholeness. I saw that. I had privy and access to see that. So
Okay.
for me, it wasn't a deal breaker, because children don't ask to come here.
Right.
Number one, and then number two, my perspective is, if a child came, God sent a child. And my perspective has always been that for a very long time, because I've had family members. I was exposed to their inability to have kids at a very young age as well too. So I always had an understanding of when a child comes into this world,
Yeah.
it's precious.
Yeah.
And so for me, no, the idea of the child wasn't, it wasn't a deal. It was the lying about a human being. When you could lie about
a
the
child.
existence of a child, no, we have a problem.
Okay, so I want to ask this question. What is a deal breaker? Is it cheating, or is it children, or is it both?
I think cheating is a deal breaker when there's another relationship.
Okay, not like a one.
Not like a one-off. For
Okay.
me, if you ask
Okay.
me.
What okay, so let's say there is someone who experienced cheating while dating, but would it I mean I guess it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing with marriage. Because then you have some people well, and the reality is like, you've already built your life around this person or however you want to put it. And some people choose to stay.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, not even, I can't even say especially in marriage, because some people before marriage
Yeah.
decide to stay. I think it's up to you. I think it's up to you. But I mean, if let's talk about the parameters though. Like, there are those one-off moments, right? And I think a lot of times we make excuses for the one-off moments when we shouldn't. But I think sometimes we make the one-off moments mountains when they're really
Yeah.
moles.
Yeah.
So I think that we cannot place a sweeping generalization on cheating. I think we have to talk about the parameters surrounding it. And I think a lot of times we're not willing to have that conversation. Monique says, I found out to his funeral he had a child. Whoa. Never knew he was cheating to say a child.
Jesus.
Wow. So, Monique, what you do? What you do when you
Right,
find out?
like,
I
so
would
how
know.
did that-
You could.
Could you please help us out?
Can you tell us more?
If you don't mind.
QTNA questions that need answers. I will get to mom comment, but let's hurry up because the child can't come here. And as my man, you can't go over there. I hear you, woman of God. I can't even. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord. Joining you and your husband.
Listen,
Say, I'm not doing the blended family thing because from I let you bring one child, you ain't gonna stop. She has a point.
yeah. Which is why I started asking those questions because, like, you would hear stories. Listen, and I too have that situation in my family too. Inside, outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Inside,
right?
outside.
I want
Yeah.
to make sure I get it right.
Mhm.
Inside, outside, and yeah, we're sisters, but you know, yeah. So I don't have the same perspective as you do. Okay, we can just move on.
Interesting.
Let's go to mom.
Mom say,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, Mom
I
say, my ex-husband brought his outside baby home and asked me to watch her. So what you do, Mom?
Wait,
Tell us.
You know this is the outside baby, or he just act like
Tell
this is his girl?
us. Tell us. Did he bring it? Did he bring her home and say this was the cousin child? This is like who? Like I want to know the story. I would like to hear this because that's just because even Stephanie say, "Oh Lord Jesus." Let's be real. As a woman, from a man see you willing to stay. If he cheats, he will never stop.
Never stop.
Jay asks, what's the topic?
Oh, he cheated. Now what? Okay, so let's talk about the staying after the cheating part, right? And
That's a negative. Jesus, take the car.
not the wheel, the whole car, right? Not all cheating ends up with children.
Not all cheating is created equal.
Okay, some have children, some don't.
End up with diseases.
Oh God, Jesus.
Some end up with like emotional attachments. Some end up with like soul ties.
It's really the diseases for me.
Jesus, just saying. Hey, Tulsi, what you saying? I feel like we missed you a couple of weeks.
Monica, I don't know if Monica's still listening. Monica, could you please explain that?
Yeah, you gotta talk about that whole after.
And then
after
mom has
So, this was your husband funeral, or this was Monica? I can need to know questions that need answers.
Yeah.
Husband or boyfriend or fiance, and he was dead. If he's dead, my condolences. Whoever he is, you found out at the funeral. I sorry, but tell the details.
And how did you come about that information? Like, who told you? With
Oh,
the
you
child?
got no job, girl. Tulsi, we gotta talk. You had no job.
Congratulations, Chelsea.
Congratulations, on. Yeah, I confused it.
Okay, so for me,
audio gone? Oh, sorry. Let me read that again since the audio left. Okay, so how it's back now. How is the woman who stays supposed to be in the relationship? Like, how is she supposed to act? Still make his coffee every morning? Some end up with soul ties though, and I feel as if once she stays after he cheat, it would then later become very toxic.
Like a
a
tit for tat- a
possibility.
tit for
Yeah,
tat.
tit for tat. Also being she might want to get her lick back and the cycle never ends. My uncle is the whoa. Okay, ma'am, we're not gonna call your name, but I mean you put it out there, so my uncle is the boldest cheater. He had one child with his wife and 3 outside, and then bring the last outside child for his wife to keep for the summer. And because she wasn't all the way cool with it, he called her cruel, and she's supposed to be a Christian. Child, she really saved because them two still together.
Okay, they still say we can't.
No, they can hear us now.
Mm.
Ugh.
Okay. Husband, wife, 1 child, 3 outside. The last one, keep for the summer. And she wasn't okay. So he called her a hypocrite because she's supposed to be a Christian, according to him.
According to him. Because okay, I'm listening to this thing that everybody's bringing up that I do agree with, that if you get cheated on by this guy and you forgive the cheating, we're all saying basically based on the comments that he will do it again because you make it okay. I don't here's my difficulty with going along with that. Because just because I stay, it don't means that when like the staying is going to be great for you.
Yeah, but I mean, what you stand for? I mean, if it's not going to be, if you're not going to try to work towards, and this is my perspective, if, okay, he cheat, you mad, go to business. Don't try and make somebody life miserable and hold on and go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then call it some kind of payback, kind of.
Okay, so not intentionally inflict pain on the individual, but I believe you should experience whatever the aftermath is of me being hurt.
Okay.
If we're gonna stay. So if that means that like
But see, it don't work out like that because you making it sound like it's gonna be just using numbers like 6 months. I'm gonna be upset for 6 months, and then
no, it's gonna be a long time.
no, I'm just using that
Okay.
as an example. And once I'm done, then
No,
You
I
okay?
wouldn't
I
even
don't
say
understand.
once I'm done. Like, no, like, just like you did what you did, and
Mm-hmm.
it hurt me, and I have to deal with the waves of that, you're going to have to deal with the waves of my reaction to it. If we stay in, we have to understand that water come in the shore, and then they can go back out and come back in.
okay, so
So you got to deal with the waves. If we say we stay in, if he cheated, then now what is we're gonna make this relationship work? Then no, you're gonna have to deal with the waves. You created this tsunami, so now you're gonna have to deal with it. Now I do believe that.
because I think their perspective is saying like, okay, you give them an inch, they're gonna take a
Yeah.
mile.
Yeah.
And my question is really what do you do in that time? Because you saying you don't fully agree, and okay, you deal with the waves of my emotions, la la la, ray. But does that mean that okay, we're setting some ground rules here again?
Of course, you're gonna have to, and set accountability too. Like, no, you can't have a lock on your phone that I don't know about. No, you can't have no secret apps on your phone. You cannot have a
But
conversation.
it's a secret app. How you gonna know? It's a secret.
You can't have it.
Okay.
You can't have it. You can't have a conversation with a female that I don't know about. You can't hide nothing.
So how long would this be? Like,
I think it depends on the person. But my thing is like, okay, let's say we're talking about marriage. You get married to this man and you know that this is the man that God has called you to be with. You're going to walk away from him because he cheated on you?
You want me to answer that?
Mm.
I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna get back to you. No, seriously, because that's something you think about.
Like
but
we have to think about this
but-
because
we have a call.
we have a call. Okay, let's take the call. Oh,
Oi.
shucks.
I almost didn't even see that.
Caller, you are live on Glory 93.9 FM.
Hi, Mericha.
Hi.
Listen, this thing what you're talking about, you're yucking up people vexation, you know.
Yucking up.
Really? Tell me why you're yucking up people vexation.
You going?
Oh, are they gone? Call back, caller, please.
Please.
We lost you. We lost the call. I don't know what happened. Oh, there we go. You're live on Glory 93.9 FM.
Hi, Mericha. I got cut off a while ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me tell you something. You can cheat and let you give you if you really, really show that you really, it was a mistake or whatever, and you're doing whatever it takes. Give me my time to heal.
Right.
Do the things that you know that I need for you to do
Right.
so that I could be healed.
Right.
And as you say, no locks on the phone, no secret. You don't talk to anyone that I am not aware of.
Exactly.
And no little sketchy stuff,
Right.
and okay, prove to me that's okay. You're worth a second chance.
Yes.
But
Okay.
some people, when they cheat and you give them a second chance, it's like you're telling them, okay, it's okay.
Right.
And they keep doing it over and over. And because you're a Christian, you're supposed to forgive and forget. So
Right.
give them my time. Let me go to the Lord in prayer. Let him help me. Because I'm going to try to forgive you because I don't want resentment in my heart because
Exactly.
I'm not going to hell.
For you.
For you or for nobody.
Exactly.
For nobody.
Exactly.
So let me go to the Lord in prayer. Let him help me. The Holy Spirit help me work through it. Let me get a little counseling, whatever I
Right.
need to do.
Right.
And if you decide, okay, you're really sorry, and I see that you're sorry, and you're really helping me to process through what you did,
Mm-hmm.
then I will consider staying. But most of these persons who cheat, listen, you only find out because they get caught. Because something they've been doing and they plan on doing it again and again and again. They have no regards for your feelings. They're supposed to do whatever they want to do with you whenever they want to do it, and you must be okay with it. So,
I totally agree with you 100%.
yes. Yeah.
And thank you so much for your call and for sharing
welcome.
your thoughts with us. I would like to add to what she said too. Like she talked about like the parameters that you set. Like, okay, if you say you cheated on me, you're sorry, and you still want this relationship, I am literally taking you back to square one. Win me over again.
Yeah.
Show me why I should trust you again. Open up your life to me. When you are struggling and when you and when you having that little itch, I can need to know. Like these are things that you're gonna have to expose to me. You can't have a secret from me. No, you're gonna need to be like no, like I can need to know everything. I can need to know everything. Crystal says, "Wow, let's talk about how manipulative. Why can't I say the word?
Yeah. Deceptive. Just use this.
Manipulative. I think she means men try to use religion to control your conduct towards their infidelity."
I think she said something earlier that I wanted to do too.
Oh, I missed some.
Oh no. It was
I read
another
that.
one.
I read that already.
It was another one. It was something else, but I
Okay,
guess
let's
when
keep
we get
going.
to it. Yeah.
Staying can be difficult and can possibly become toxic. Some women forgive but can't seem to forget. Now that's the other thing too.
But is it the goal to forget?
Yeah, that's only fair
Okay.
because that's what true forgiveness is.
to forget.
Yeah, if you don't forget, you haven't forgiven. What you have done is pardon to the person. Forgiveness means I
No
no
record.
longer remember this,
No
and
record of
I'm
it.
literally putting myself back in the same position for you to do the same thing again.
I feel like it's traumatic sometimes because he cheated. Now I think this is what Crystal was saying. I don't know if we reached to it yet, but just the insecurities after that.
Absolutely.
So even if this person, let's say he's doing all that he can to win you over
You
again,
will be insecure about him. Absolutely. And he's going to
Yeah.
have to prove that.
Yeah.
Sadly, some won't leave because the husband or boyfriend provides a necessity for them. That's very true. That's very true.
And then it's sort of like a pick your poison kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. Like, you choose.
Either you could be broke, homeless, or
Or just deal with
miserable,
this man cheating. Or let me just cheat too. And then let him do whatever he want to do.
and then everybody's sick.
And everybody still get what they want. Exactly, Joinae. That's why I asked, how is she supposed to act? It's not cut and dry now. It's not cut and dry. But we're talking about one side of this conversation. We're talking about the women who decide to stay. We got to talk about those of us who gone. We can get there. I agree, Joinae, because don't do me anything. It takes me a while to get over something and I can't fake. Crystal says, every time he say he have to go to work or to a function, you have a question. You have to
Yeah.
question it.
Yeah.
And
That's
feel uneasy. Then both of y'all gonna be miserable. That will be
Right.
what's happening for a
Because
period of time.
even when he is being pure or it's not a cheating situation, it seems that way because you deceived me before.
Yeah. Jay says that goes back to my point. That means it's going to be very, very toxic. Michelle says either party who was cheated on may sometimes have a sense of insecurity or the fear of the same thing recurring. You spend every chance you get going through his texts and following his day.
Yeah.
Micromanaging a man is too much work. Again, I'm going to ask this question. If you are married to this person, if this is the man that God told you is your purpose partner, this is the one that you said you heard God concerning, and he cheated on you, and you're saying micromanaging is too much? Keep in mind now, we don't like to hear this, but the reality is our godly marriages are not for our pleasure, they're for God's pleasure.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
So if we're talking about a godly marriage here, your feelings from being cheated on don't really matter.
Okay,
They're just saying.
I understand what you're saying, but because so much feelings are
to get over it.
yeah, but that's easier said than done.
I know.
And
I
we don't want
know.
to seem so cut and dry. Like you have to get over it. And yeah, while that may be the truth,
I mean, or you could be Jonah. Hey,
right? While that may be the truth, there's still a lot of
a lot,
emotions.
a lot,
A lot
a
of
lot,
emotions. Like, well, I guess. Anyway, I could leave that alone.
a lot. Because, like, take for instance, say you're like me, right? And I'm gonna get some more comments. Say you're like me and you leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know how hard it is to trust somebody after somebody
Right.
like who you didn't even suspect or
Yeah.
imagine could cheat on
Yeah.
you or would do something like that to you. Every single relationship that I was in right after that relationship,
But that's what we
I
talked
was
about.
skeptical.
But that's what we talked about. Baggage.
Every
Baggage. Okay.
we out to dinner and you and the girl smiling too much and I looking like, so you don't see me sitting there and you smiling up.
What do you smile? What is funny?
Where is the
What
joke?
is funny?
Why she could see all your gums and your esophagus and your urethra or whatever the thing is in the back of your mouth? Like, why she could see that? Like, I don't know. So there's this element of distrust that exists in you, period. And believe it or not, for those of us who have been cheated on, if you really think about it, that distrust that spilled over to every aspect of your
Yeah.
life, because one of the major difference between females and males, naturally, unless we are intentional about it, men compartmentalize, whereas females don't. So if I feel some type of way about my husband, my boyfriend, my fiance, my
I go in
significant
and
other,
everything.
that's going to apply to everything.
Everything.
I don't trust him. I don't trust you.
Right.
I don't trust the man who's keep my money. I don't trust the woman who clean in my house. I don't trust my cousin who I lend my car to. I don't trust the woman who watching my children. I don't trust, you know what? I don't trust nobody. No one. I got to test and try everybody. So the reality of the matter is You have your choice. Pick your poison. Are you going to address your distrust, your insecurities, your hurt, your pain in another relationship with a stranger, or are you going to address it with the person who cheated? That's basically the decision that
Right,
you have to
right.
make. You can pick it, because we think that when someone has cheated on us, when a man has cheated on us, we think that when we take our time to ourselves and we do whatever we need to do and we become whole or whatever, that means when we go into our next relationship, all
Yeah.
the trauma is
Yeah,
removed. But the
yeah.
reality is, what ends up happening is the next relationship exposes the parts of yourself that could not be healed on
Yeah,
your own,
yeah.
that require another individual to expose their existence, and then healing can take place. So my thing is, you have to pick or choose. Either way,
You got right.
it's
That's what
going
I'm
to
saying.
be
It's a-
exposed
pick-
in relationship.
Pick your poison.
There are only certain things that are exposed to us as individuals and as couples that happen in relationship. There are some things we just don't see about ourselves unless we're
Yeah,
in relationship with
yeah.
somebody else
I
to
agree.
place a mirror in front of us.
I agree.
Because when we see it, it looks natural.
I agree.
It's our normal way of living. We don't see it as a big deal. We don't
Yeah.
struggle with it. It takes somebody putting a mirror in front of us and being like, you see this?
You see this?
You realize what you just did?
That happened to me the other day.
Oh, how was it?
It wasn't good. No, not the other. That was just today and yesterday and the day before. Yeah,
3 days in a row.
yeah, it was bad.
I'll be on a roll.
I know, right? Let me live. But
Jeanette-
before you go to another thing, comment. I figured out my answer now. 'cause
Okay.
I
No, I know it was heavy.
had to think about that. I think it depends.
yeah. Yeah.
I think it depends. If you see if that person is genuinely sorry, I can agree that mistakes can be made. No one is perfect. We're setting that
yeah.
foundation. However, I feel like it depends on the situation. You can tell.
Ooh.
You can tell, and I don't know if it's just me, but you can tell if someone is going to do it again, based on if like how they were caught.
Uh-huh.
If they told you because they want to stop, you know what I mean,
Uh-huh.
or I think it depends on that kind of situation
Uh-huh.
to really Anyway, we can't say that on air.
I could adjust it. Uh-huh.
Yes.
To really
please. I forget, you threw me off.
Sorry.
But I think okay, my main thing is I think it depends. It depends on the situation. Certain things you can tell if someone is going to want to do it again,
Yes.
or if they plan
You
to.
can tell. You can tell.
You-
Especially if there's somebody who you in a relationship with who you know. Like
but
you
I'm
can tell.
but I'm talking about a God ordained
yes.
marriage.
You can tell.
And then you pick your poison.
I have something I can talk about, but before we go there, let's get the rest of the
Oh, yeah.
comments. Janae say, boy, God got to come down and talk to me about that.
Yeah, and it's really you
It's
really
true.
need God for that.
It's true.
Really,
Because, I
really-
mean, if he established a relationship, then you got to consult him. I'm just saying. Latoya tell to call it a breach. My God. You could forgive, but that don't mean you have to
Yeah.
stay. Now, I agree with that, Crystal.
I mean,
don't
that's
disagree.
biblical.
Yeah. Yeah. Carla, we will have the forgiveness conversation on my way.
Oh Jesus, what I do?
Oh, Jessica, what is wrong with you, girl? Forgiveness is to act as if it never happened. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Act.
No, you have to exist as if it never happened. Lord, keep him. I'll stay single because this is too much work. That statement alone will turn many people away from marriage, child. What statement you was talking about, Krista? Because
Yeah, I
we don't say a lot. So be miserable in that marriage with a cheating man? That's not what we said.
But see that we talking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we really talked about a lot of stuff. Then he go on, come home to you after cheating, and because you're his wife, it's your duty to please him as well, even though his cheating is emotionally abusive. Crystal, why you sound like you trying to step into another conversation?
But I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
A point. I do understand that.
But like I said, this has to do with
What
like
you
what
choose.
you were talking about, like we can't separate the you can't separate the relationship you have with this individual from the act of cheating. Do you understand what I'm
No,
saying?
tell me what you mean.
So like, okay, if in the past you always caught these funny messages or whatever, or like you would like you happen to come across his phone or whatever and you would realize like certain conversations with certain females and his WhatsApp always deleted. Like you never see a trail of conversations. Or let's say his Facebook Messenger or whatever, like don't ever have conversations with certain females who you know he talks to or
Yeah.
whatever or interacts with. And then you see certain behaviors or whatever and you start questioning those things and then you find out about cheating. That's different from him having a drinking problem or him having a smoking problem and then he comes home one day and says to you, I had a one night stand. Those are two totally different circumstances and situations.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I
So the
understand.
nature of the relationship has to be considered. Is this something that this individual that you are with constantly struggles with? Or is this an anomaly?
And that will determine your.
I think that will determine your healing process. That will determine whether or
you
not you
stay.
believe you're going to stay or not, whether or not you are convinced that this person is genuinely remorseful, where like, or just like plain blank, are you going to put up with it?
Right.
You know, like, are you going to tolerate it? But I think that we paint the picture of marriage and relationships as if there is no love or there is no connection
Yeah.
between these two people,
Yeah.
even though this individual has
Yeah.
done this thing.
So it's easy to say cold turkey, cut them
Yeah,
off.
like what happened to the reason that we're together?
Yeah.
Does this incident, this thing that has happened, does this completely override all the good that has happened? Does this one thing erase
So let me ask
all
you
the
a
good?
question. With your situation, did you love him? Did he love you?
I still love him
Why?
because that's just me.
Like love or just like normal love?
But I mean, I care about
like
him.
agape love.
I mean, like I know what's still happening with him, so I care.
Okay, so when love is,
When love is in the mix, I think you can.
because your response earlier was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, because I wasn't gonna put up with that for the rest of my life.
Okay,
I asked myself the question:
if
Because
I love
this
this
is my
person
thing.
enough too.
if you could lie about a child, that means you could lie about money. You could lie about your whereabouts. You could lie about whether you're drinking or not, and you're supposed to be drinking. You could lie, you could lie about if you could say a child that does exist,
yeah.
don't exist. You could lie about the sky being blue.
Okay,
You understand what I'm saying?
and that was
And that's what it was for me. I was not willing to put up with the insecurity and the back and forth in my mind as to whether or not anything that he was saying was true.
that's all I wanted.
Number one. Number two, I was young. And going against the advice of every adult around me who knew my situation. Saying yes to this man and going to marry this man. And so
They wanted you to.
they didn't want me to.
Okay.
So I was going against all of their advice because I was convinced that this is what I wanted. And so all that did was literally like put the icing on top of my doubt cake that I was already fighting.
And cherry. Or cherry.
And the cherry,
and
like,
chick on the side of that,
Mericha,
on the side of that.
this ain't making no sense. Because I mean, I already have all of my like close, like live in my house family not wanting me to be with you.
But see, the thing is, there's a particular thing that you're saying in this story. You were young.
I
You were
was.
young.
I was.
You were young.
I was
What
young.
about the person
Who's not young? Yeah, I know what to tell you.
And then
I just
and-
played.
No, but like,
Yeah.
for real, that's the reality. I don't have much time. Ain't nobody else look like they want to be engaged to me. So you know something? Let me just deal with this, and I'll take care of you, the side thing, and the baby, and we could coexist because they're doing it now, where you could have
Yeah.
the extra thing, and I gotta stop saying take up. You can have the extra female with child, and we live together. This is normal.
We have a show that's coming up where we're going to deal with this whole being single and over 40 situation.
But that's my thing. You could. It's easy to say
Because I can say that easily now, but if I'm completely honest with you, if I had that same situation now as a 35-year-old, my
made it-
decision would be completely different.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that,
Which means that there's a part of me that will settle.
and I said that could be a good thing and a bad thing
Absolutely.
at the same time.
Because
And that's-
it also says that we don't think we're worth it.
That was my point.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Comments?
DeAndre
Oh,
says,
sorry, clicking the same time.
I'm having a hard time understanding why God can send me someone who can cheat on me. Oh. There's like a huge assumption in there. God will send you the person that is meant to be the purpose for your life. That person's actions is in that individual's hands, not God's. That's not how this works.
And then, and then him not cheating or whoever not cheating means maybe this is the perfect person and
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because there's going to be something you got to deal with.
something. And it may not
Or
be
some
cheating.
things.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand where you're coming from, but
we ain't gonna blame that on God now.
yeah.
No. He cheated, and now what? Get him some help. No man is perfect. I like this, China. Even the good men have faults. Now, if he can't admit that he has a problem, then he is only a stumbling block. Let him go and move on. I like that, China. That's really good. Crystal says, I think
Yes, Crystal.
it falls down to how much you trust that person to change. But let's be real. If he's not willing to change, it makes no sense dying in a miserable marriage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that was my point. I
Yeah.
think it depends. You could tell who real or not.
Mom says, you carry that same hurt over to a next relationship. Tell me about it. DeAndre Forbes, my point. So cheating only means that it was not God ordained. That's how I feel. No, that's not what we're saying.
No.
That's not what we're saying. So please don't misunderstand us. Instigating here. Why wouldn't he? This is like asking, why would God let me experience pain, hurt, loss? You go ahead, Latoya. Preach this. No, because I mean,
we missing a lot of comments.
no, I go into them. It's just that
Hold on,
I really want to talk about that because, like, I think many of us have this misconception that when we align with our purpose partner,
that everything goes well.
yeah, like there's nothing that you're gonna have to work on.
And
Like
then
there's gonna be things.
The Bible is true. The arms of flesh.
Take a veil, and the
Veil.
Spirit of God don't strive with man always.
I mean, that's reality.
I just think that one of the mature things that we do is we decide, can I handle this?
Am I willing to?
Am I willing to have to deal with this every day? Because I'm going to have to deal with it every day. So I think it's a matter of maturity. Like, we make a conscious decision in relationships to say, I can handle this. I can love that.
Or I'm willing to.
Yeah.
Or can't really see it right
Or
now.
I learn
but-
how to.
Or I love you enough to.
Exactly. So, the next person will sense that spiritually. Yeah, you're right. There's no such thing as a perfect man. I don't believe it exists. But what I can say is that a man has to be willing to try his best to stay away from temptation. Absolutely. Hey, Shante. Latoya McKinney, very valid point, because why not me, right? But at the same time, this can't be so common amongst believers, though. See, our difficulty is that it ain't even just common amongst, it's not even the believers that is common amongst, it's our country. It's our culture. It's actually, and I want to extend it even further, it's Caribbean culture. Like, to just cheat, to have multiple families. Like, that's how people in the islands carry on. like,
normal.
like it's a normal thing. Wherever a country has an island, like that's the nature of relationships, period. And you can't say that's the nature of men, because there are women out there making this infidelity possible.
Yeah.
So it's not the nature of men, it's the culture. It's the culture. It's the nature of the environment of the people. So before we could talk about it being difficulty with believers, we have to realize that these believers live in the same culture we
Yeah,
live in.
yeah.
And so we have to be real. Like,
And then that don't really mean because they believe they fully delivered.
Ugh.
So
do we want to have that deliverance conversation?
I'm
Read this next one. Yeah.
oh God. Nobody's above sin. Nobody's above any sin, including cheating. Anyone could be at a low point where the devil creep in, and before you catch yourself, you have committed that sin. Yes, that is true. All I'ma say is that's how I sit in my head. All I'ma say is if something is foul,
Pay attention.
oh yeah. But I skip all of that and think
All I'm
Anyway.
gonna say is pay attention. If something if something foul is afoot.
it's a foot. Okay, there is always evidence.
Yeah. You're right, Mericha, but do you love him more than you love yourself?
We're talking about in the instance of boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife.
We have to ask. We have
Because
to
I
ask that
think
question.
that would.
If it's my husband, I'm supposed to.
But do you? We ain't talking about suppose. Do you?
I single, so I can't speak. You are. You answer. I single and free. I know.
No love or emotional attachment needed to slip up. I think when deciding if to leave a cheating man, you have to decide if you love him more than yourself. Because no way you're cheating on me and I sitting there. You're right, Joinae. It's giving low self-esteem. Lucretia says there has to be a distinction between compromising for companionship and forgiving to make a relationship, yes, work. That's worth the fight. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, preach, woman of
I
God.
don't like that. I don't like that one with God. I don't like that story. But Raquel says God told Hosea to marry a prostitute. Nothing, no one wants, but his purpose prevails.
His purpose prevails, babe. When we say yes to God, we say no to us, babe.
See, I think it's like all easy fun and games until you're in it.
Until you realize, like, this mean everything. This don't just mean my money. This don't just mean like my time, my effort, my energy, my dreams, my aspirations. This also means my marriage, my relationships. Oh, man. Oh, listen.
Will I skip something?
We talked about that. We had a whole show. I can't stop cheating. Also 2+ as well. Women cheat too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What we choose to love has to also not be something that causes emotional trauma that's never fully addressed.
You spitting some serious stuff here, woman of God. Yeah. Go ahead, read Michelle, so we can
sorry.
get to this comment.
Okay, what's fallacy?
That's a fallacy.
That's a fallacy. Marriage takes a lot of work. Yes, it does. When some folks get married, they think that life is now a bed of roses. Yes. And remember, not only men cheat.
Wow.
Yes, we talked about that.
Wow.
Crystal says, Bazzi's coming now, husband. Love me more than yourself, as you should.
All right, so I have a little thing that I came across on Twitter. This was on the 3rd of October. Now, I cannot read the message as it exists. I can give you the PG-13 version. This person is writing on TikTok. I mean, it's on TikTok, on Twitter. And they says, married women don't be wanting to give their husbands sex, but want to fight me when I do.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Married women don't be wanting to give their husbands sex, but want to fight me when I do. Can we talk about that? Can we really, really talk about this?
And I'm guessing this is coming from
This is coming from a side chick.
just wanted to make that. Listen, hold on. Listen.
Because Listen, ladies, let's have this conversation because the men have this conversation all the time. And I feel like sometimes some of them are bold enough to say it to us, and other times they're not. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that there is a possibility that this man has stepped out on his wife because his wife is not having sexual relations with him.
Okay, so let's see what why. Why?
You tell me. I think
Why?
I don't. I,
What
sorry, I don't know,
what
just-
I'm
I don't-
saying? What's the
I
reason
don't know.
why?
I don't know. That would
But
just
see, the
be.
thing is, okay, I feel two ways about this. Okay, side chick, we hear you, right? One, some wives on time, breakfast, lunch,
Right.
and dinner. I'm not talking
Right.
about real food,
Right.
right?
Right.
On time,
Right.
men still cheat. One.
Absolutely.
Two,
Absolutely.
I think that there is a great weight on wives to carry everything and still be this,
Yep.
whatever the word is I'm looking for, this
Yep.
Wonder Woman swinging from chandeliers.
Crystal, I am not going to read that comment. Jesus, man. Get saved.
Crystal.
Oh my gosh, Crystal, man. What happened?
Crystal, man, come on.
Do better, man. Shucks, man.
Right?
But she's right, though.
Right. So, but you see,
Anyway,
let me reel it back.
Right,
Right. And then,
he's a
You
Christian
have-
show, man.
right. This is Glory 93.9 FM. Thank you, Crystal, for your
Crystal, I
comment.
love you.
We still love you, right? But then
But
on the
she's
flip
real.
side,
Mhm.
you want this woman cook your food, feed your children, clean the house, go to work, go to school, own her own business, and then when she tired, you use that as an opportunity to go out and then last week we talked, no, not last week, but 1 week we talked about the distributing of the oil,
Lord Jesus, the oil.
right? To take care of everything and do et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You think that's why in the back in the day there was the wife and the concubine? You think that's probably why?
Maybe someone needed to do something. No, I know, because that's the reality. Because see, that's why I say I feel two ways about it. Because on one side, you want this woman to be a Proverbs woman,
Actually,
And-
most men don't want that.
but just saying for conversation's sake, you want her to rise up early in the morning, and you want her to have breakfast, and you want to get the children to school, and you want to and then when you sitting down playing game, watching TV with your feet kicked back, and just
So I was having a conversation with a married friend of mine who doesn't live here and his wife, and this young man who they was trying to set me up with. We were all on a double date, and I never forget this conversation because they were over here, they were in the country, they were at Grey Cliff, and in the middle of the date it became kind of awkward because my friend and his wife ended up having like a little argument in front of us, and we were just sitting there like laughing, like observing the whole thing. And one of the things that he said to his wife in that argument while she was going on, because she was saying the same thing, I used to be cooking and cleaning and taking care of these children, and he says, I don't care if the house is dirty.
powerful.
He says, if you want me to hire somebody to clean, I will. His thing was, you don't prioritize me, and you used to. And it shut down the entire argument because, like, I think sometimes as women, we are so caught up in what we were told we were supposed to do in marriage.
Okay.
We think that that's what our husbands want. So I think sometimes we kill ourselves, make ourselves tired,
So you're saying-
doing things that man does not even care
all,
about.
All you're advising is
Find out what he cares about.
no. We ain't going there. Get KFC instead of cooking. Meet me on the chandelier.
Find out
Say
what
less.
find out what he cares about.
Oh, you said we'll.
Find out what he cares about. Don't assume.
But Risha, in
Don't
all,
assume,
but
though.
In all honesty, you really. See,
Don't assume.
it really gives hypocrite for me. Let me tell you why. Because she don't clean. She nasty. The house dirty. You go into the side check. Oh, your house is so clean. You can see you
There
can't.
has to be
you
balance.
can't win for losing.
There has to be balance. There has to be balance.
I mean, okay.
Find out what is priority. Can you clean tomorrow instead?
I'm.
Can you clean tomorrow instead?
I'm.
Can you not clean today? Can you go connect with your husband?
Hold on. Crystal says, "Easy fix Marisha.
No,
Put the broom
no,
down and rub
no.
the
Stop
foot."
skipping comments. You've been
Sorry,
unfair.
sorry. I just go into women.
Madam Twitter don't like her life. I ain't getting in nothing. What is joy together? Call me when things have dissolved. Yeah, no, she was
Yeah.
definitely putting herself out there. LOL, some of these husbands can't. Oh Jesus, I wasn't supposed to read that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
see, yeah.
My Grammy had 21 children. How you think they get here? Y'all need to be more old school.
So you have more children, so more people can clean the house.
Ah,
That seems like it.
it needs to be addressed here. Wow. Easy fix, Mericha. Put the broom down and rub the man foot. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. Can there be some consideration that perhaps he don't care if the floor mop today? His priority is, I haven't connected with my wife. And I want to connect with my wife. Could you put your priority for the floor needing to be cleaned down for a second and go be with your husband? Is that ridiculous? Because when you need to get your hair done, you just find somebody to watch them children. But when your husband wants to go out on a date, you can't find nobody because you don't want to go through the effort and the energy to.
I don't know who you're talking to.
I just saying, like, let's have the conversation.
But
Let's have the conversation.
But see, my point is this, and I'm not saying that this is my situation, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, this floor hasn't been mopped for 3 weeks. You wait till the third week to say let's, and then when it seems
And the floor could go unmopped for one more day because here's what we're talking about. We're talking about he cheated, now what? If that floor goes unmopped for one more day, that could be the difference between your husband cheating on you or not.
okay, why can't it be? You run the water, I get the mop. We do
Well, if
that.
that's what you want it to be, make it that.
Right, but don't make it seem like, okay, I need to make life decisions with mopping the floor. And if I
No,
hold
I
on.
said
And
you
if,
need
if,
to make.
if I decide I want to mop the floor, then that
I
gives
said you
that
need
gives
to
him
find out what he wants.
that gives him the right to go
No,
and cheat.
I'm not
when
giving
the
him the
reality
right.
is
I'm not giving him the right.
when the reality
I'm
is
saying we create environments for
hold
it.
on, Mericha. When the reality is these man them don't help. Don't
We ain't having that conversation
no.
today.
The conversation is going there because we talked about this last week, and this is for wives. Listen, this gotta do, this gotta do, this gotta do. You working, I working. We have to figure out. Let's make use of the car. Let's make use of somewhere else. But when certain things have to be done, certain things have to be done. You want your boys to come over. What I could tell them, the floor ain't mopped because you. Then if then let's say I go with not mopping the floor, just hypothetically speaking, go with not mopping the floor. The side chick house, tile white. They got the what it is, the ruffle rug with centerpiece and marble countertops, and everything is clean. And you admire this woman because she had, and single, so everything is clean. But why can't we just have a good middle ground and saying, okay,
I'm not saying that you can't have a middle ground. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is find out what is your spouse's priority. That's all I'm saying.
and if the priority is sex, then
Then meet that priority in that moment. It's not like we're making it seem like you can't meet that priority in that moment and go do what it is that what you have priority afterwards. You could do that.
okay, Mericha. Okay.
See, Terrell agrees with me. He's a man.
What's wrong?
Wow, great observation, Mericha.
That's right. Okay.
Michelle says she is right. She is right on one point. As Joinae said, wives are expected to are expected to be superwoman and still be swinging from the chandelier at night. And on another note, some women don't satisfy their spouse's appetite.
Right.
Most men would always choose their meals at night instead of a clean house. Saying, I
Okay.
just putting it out there as another thought.
And I just
Of
put it on there as another.
consideration.
I put it on there as another thought too. Could you just help?
Say how,
Is that difficult?
but Jordan agrees with you. How we could connect and the floor dirty?
How? We may need this floor.
Lucretia says, I agree, Mericha, that balance is key and knowing what is priority for our spouse. Brandira says, speak. Tanisha says, at least he voiced his opinion instead of stepping out of the marriage to fulfill his needs. Absolutely. There is balance. He has to be a provider, spiritual covering, security, lover, counselor, and friend without any complaints. No excuses. Connect with your spouse. Stephanie, why can't he mop the floor and let me worry about swinging? Ask him to. Michelle says, that is meeting his needs. When that husband is served his meals, i.e. satisfied serially, he will always be a happy camper. 100, 100, 100. Crystal says, some men like the clothes and the environment clean first. LOL, in the mood. Crystal says, Joinae, you are right. You have to communicate. Nadia says, you have to communicate to your spouse at every opportunity. You must prioritize the need of your spouse and make the adjustments as needed. Tanisha says, for real, they lazy bad. Get your hip up and help me clean. Can't want play game all day and then start complaining. Crystal says, Mericha, I understand what you're saying. Figure out figure out the man and what he likes. Lucretia says, then again, sometimes people cheat even if things in order. I agree. It boils down to willpower because the reality is temptation will also be around, but yielding to it is the problem. Be careful with not making it harder to fall by avoiding certain situations. That's all I was saying. That's really all I was saying. Lucretia says, Joinae, I get you too, girl. Your points are valid also. But it goes along with what Mericha is saying.
That's what Let's just distribute the oil evenly, man. That's what I'm saying.
Mom, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I agree with you too.
Because the flip side of this conversation is that I pray that some man talk show out there is trying to help men improve. But here's our reality. We're talking to women. We're not talking to men. Men can listen in, but we're addressing women. So just check the amount of times you would say no. That's all I'm saying. That's all I asking. Well, Mom, all of us are not created equal. All of us are not created equal. Donzel says, sex is an emotional thing for a woman, but a physical need for a man. Once both learn how to love unconditionally, it is no longer a task, but a love language. He will help you mop that floor. See?
It's a good medium.
Yeah.
So that was my point. That's it. That's it. And that's all.
Yeah. But I said what I said because, I mean, I listened to that one particular conversation and then it opened my eyes to like some other things that I observed because I see it. I see it in my own self. Where like when my mind is focused on me and what I need to do in order to get
You don't see nothing
Mericha,
else?
I don't see nothing else. And that's something that we do as women. So we will make a list of all of the things that we have to do and it have nothing to do with the man. It might be to care for him, but it has nothing to do with connecting with him.
I understand.
And that is our way of showing love to him.
Yeah,
but
but
that's
that's
not
not the way-
necessarily his
Yeah.
way of receiving it.
Yeah.
And so I think we just need to consider it. That's all I'm saying.
the love
I was
language.
not saying that was it. That's the only reason. That's not like, no, I'm just saying, can we talk about how we are creating an environment for cheating? Because we
Yeah.
are.
Making it easy.
We're making it easy. We're making it easy. So just consider it. Just ask yourself the question. Wifey, how much times you would say no?
Just the way
Your
you-
head hurting. You sleepy. You
Oh.
tired. Just think about it. So now we cheating and we walking away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we walking away.
You have
We
something
walking
else?
away. No, I can't read that.
Oh,
We
Lord
walking away. Let me
Jesus.
give me this phone because you ain't even paying attention to
You
the
know,
phone.
I ain't see that.
These things would lighten up. It's the phone.
I ain't see it.
Oh my gosh. I have an unforgettable cheater statement too. You did nothing wrong. In fact, you were the next best thing to perfect. But she was available and I was just being greedy.
Oh, you want your cake and eat it too.
Holy Ghost. Sometimes we love people the way we would want to be loved and don't consider how they want to be
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah.
This person ain't even from here.
Holy Ghost. What's the statement? He just wanted to
You
be
did
greedy.
nothing wrong.
You were near perfect.
In fact, you were the next best thing to perfect. But she was available and I was
So let me
just
understand.
being greedy.
These two, they were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh-huh.
at this time, this next lady was available. What was she doing? Was she not available?
Who's she? Who's she we talking about now?
The main she. The main she was not available, so that's why the side
Guess
she.
not. That's powerful. I think that's
Yeah. Yeah.
where most cheating culprits fall, just being greedy. When you saw me, you saw him, joined at the hip. Bro used to go see her on his lunch hour.
And that's when she was available.
So he cheated and you walk away. What does that look like now?
Looks like drama to me.
That's what I saying.
Looks like don't trust nobody ever
Exactly.
again in life to me. Looks like beating everybody with the same stick. Looks like let me come closer. Looks like
I have something I want to say, but I can wait till we
can't-
finish.
But I can't say what I thought just now. But this is things like that drive people.
So I think you was going to say what I about to say.
Drive
Looks
people.
like I'm going to consider women instead of men.
Yeah, it drives
Yeah.
people to
Yeah.
same sex.
Yeah. Nadia says the book, The 5 Love Languages, an absolute must for
Yeah.
any couple. Definitely agree. Like this whole thing about like he cheated, I'm gonna walk away. Cool, fine. You walk away. Good. Necessary for your forward movement. You analyze the situation and you determine, okay, he was not the one. This was not gonna work. I couldn't put up with it. So now, what does it look like for you practically to heal? How are you going to be intentional about that?
I think it depends. So like you guys were together for 3 months. He cheated. Right?
That's toilet paper.
Right. So, you know,
And I mean to say that, but that's what it
you know,
is.
I'm
Toilet
saying I'm
paper.
just making that
Yeah.
clear to,
Yeah.
like, to show there are stages
Yeah.
to what would be needed.
Yeah. Because
Right?
that's different from you walking away from a marriage of 20 years with 3 children.
Right. And it'll be different being engaged to this person.
Absolutely. Where you
Wedding.
just begin merging stuff and
Wedding preparation.
wedding plan and
everything.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. You may need to talk to someone for a while.
yeah.
Just
I
so that
definitely would say
just so
therapy or
that
a counselor or something like that.
you can secure yourself.
Yep.
Something that I learned when I miscarried, my doctor said, and he was like straight out of the gate. He said, "Listen, I want you to know it's nothing that you did wrong." Because he realized that the process of becoming pregnant again could have I guess shut down my mind in a way where I tell my body, okay, you can't do this because you can't house it.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's important any of those stages, no matter how it affects you, because
Yeah, that's
you
so good.
you would say something for 3 months is toilet paper. Someone who
Yeah.
loves hard,
Yeah, it's different.
it's different. So I think for all levels, you need to know that it was not you.
Yeah.
Whether that person makes it seem like it's about you or not, or blames you or not,
Right.
you
People
need
do
to
what they want to do.
resecure
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
once you resecure you, then you'll be able to move forward in other relationships. I do not think it's wise to move on to someone else immediately.
No, take time. Take time.
Take time.
And guard
And-
your heart with all diligence.
Yeah, and I feel like that once you secure you, it makes making other decisions better. Or a little bit easier based on what you've went through, and now that you see certain red flags, it will be a lot
Yeah.
easier to pick out.
Yeah.
So Bible says all things work together.
Yeah.
So certain things we can say are learning
Yeah.
points,
Yeah.
and then just go from there. That's my advice.
Crystal says, I think it depends on the person, their mindset, and their situation. Some people successfully start over. Absolutely.
Yes.
Can't, what'd you say?
Can't start over and date the same type of man. And then this is where my point goes back to securing you. There is something, and I always tell Mericha, how can two walk except they agree, right? There is something in you that draws that kind of person to you, whether you like
Why
it.
you take your days up to put me on blast like that?
Whether you like it or not. And I think once you identify you and the things in you and the things that you attract, we had a show talking about I want my dad, or I
We ain't do that yet.
oh no, sorry. No, you said something. The little girl in me. Something like that.
We had that already?
Yeah.
No, we ain't done that one yet.
Yes. The little girl. Anyway, we talked about the little girl in me, and there are some things in us, traumas from our childhood,
Yeah.
traumas even in our adult lives,
Yeah.
that can affect the way we are drawn to a particular kind of people.
Yeah.
And that in turn still brings another level of trauma. But if we really deal with us and making ourselves whole, certain things wouldn't be
And I think
so
too,
difficult.
I think too, what's important as well is not just like being intentional about like becoming a whole person, but I think what's also important too is
Yeah, the hurting little girl, I want my daddy. We did that.
okay, we did that. All right, sorry, I forgot y'all.
I didn't remember either. Thank you,
I
Denisha.
was thinking about something else. I didn't even hear the little girl part.
That's fine.
I think what now she caused me lost what I was going to go say.
Sorry.
So yes, you take time to heal by yourself, but I also think that a part of the healing process is in like maintaining the connections that you have in a healthy way. Many of us, when we have heartbreak, we just cut off everybody.
We don't
just
wanna
shut
confront
down.
it.
Yeah, we shut down communication with our entire community. I'm saying it because it's something that I did. I remember like pulling away and secluding myself. And because I did that, I ended up with panic and anxiety attacks. Because I didn't talk to anybody about how hurt I was, how betrayed I was. I kept it on the inside. I didn't say anything like, and I was being betrayed. And this was a more recent situation. I was being betrayed for a while, and I stayed in the relationship because in my mind, I can't do no better than this anyway. So let me just stay here.
Right.
And so what I would do is like I would just internalize everything.
Yeah.
And then when unfortunately this person's actions came to light because somebody who was connected to me saw it, I still didn't want to address it. And so I was like, okay, well, I talked to that person about it then and there. And then I pulled in. I literally pulled away. I stopped functioning. The beautiful part about it for me is that it happened in the pandemic, so people didn't really notice it. But like I was just in my shell. I pulled away because I didn't want to involve anybody else in my mess. And in hindsight, I realized that I labeled every human connection I had with the label of I don't trust people. They lie. And we don't realize that we're doing that because in our minds, we're saying we don't want to cause, no drama. We don't want to spill out on people. We don't want to, we don't want anybody to be like, oh, she got drama or this and that or whatever. She always have this and that going on. She always freaking herself out. We don't want that. And so we pull ourselves away thinking that that's what's best for us when the truth of the matter is we need community to heal. And it's something that I don't often hear people address. But healing, even in the physical sense, can't be done on your own. When you need physical healing, you have to see a doctor. And a doctor has to give you instructions.
And it's consistent.
And the instructions require you taking in something that's good for you on a consistent basis. And as you go through the healing process, you have to go back to the doctor for follow-ups. And the doctor has to say, okay, yeah, this cut is looking good. And then in that process of whatever it was that you had to go to the doctor for, other people around you are contributing to your healing process by helping you out. You're not by yourself going through your healing process. If you had a surgery, somebody was there saying, hey, you need some water, you need something to eat. We often pull ourselves away and we try to heal in isolation, and it's not possible. Even Jesus didn't do it in isolation.
Yeah.
He took people in the Garden of Gethsemane with him, begging God to take the cup from him. He was not alone.
Yeah.
There is no example in scripture that suggests that we go through pain in isolation, because Jesus on the cross had two people on the side of him.
Right.
We don't go through anything.
Someone help him carry the cross.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't go through anything in isolation. And I think that's the biggest mistake we make when we walk away. So he cheated. I walk away. Don't isolate yourself, boo. Don't do that.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with pride. Pride because
Yes.
I trusted you.
Yes.
You make me
yes.
look bad, and what you won't do is have me for no count.
Yes.
So pride
Yes.
says, okay, this community is around me and I can get help, but I don't want help because I done look bad for something that I was sure that I didn't look bad in already.
Yeah.
So and I just had this conversation with someone as early as last night, and I said, listen, when God comes to heal and deliver us, if we stay focused on the people around us.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easy to do in church because this person hurt me or
Not
that
even just
person,
church, but work too, and family.
whatever, right? Wherever that hurt is,
Yeah.
when healing comes or when the opportunity to heal comes, we shut down on it because, listen, y'all ain't gonna make me look bad again. Y'all ain't come here feeling sorry for me.
Right.
I know you told me not to do this and I did it, and now you're gonna tell me I told you so. I don't want to hear all of that all over again because pride. I look bad.
Yep.
I look bad, and I found out that I was wrong.
Or, let me add to that. Because you've been cheated on so many times, you then allow that to become a part of your language. And you say, child, ain't nobody's be faithful to me. And you make yourself a victim. And you say stupid stuff. Because I want you to know, we out there doing that.
Yeah.
We out there just making total fools of ourselves after somebody has made a fool out of us. Because the thing is, you don't make a fool out of me, so it ain't make no sense. Why even protect? So you just further make a fool of yourself.
And I think what cheating does, and let's take it just a little further, outside of male female relationships, just relationships that we have with people, with our friends.
Yes.
And some friends are dishonest.
Yes.
And some things you find out and etc. I found myself looking at everything bad. So, not Mericha, right? So let me make sure, you ain't got to say it's you, right? It ain't you, right? But if Mericha drinks from that cup in a particular way, saw she. Now the last person that drank from this cup,
No issue.
threw the cup at me.
Oh, I got you.
So here comes Mericha purely drinking from the cup.
Right.
But my perspective,
Because of your connection. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
found, and it isn't necessarily like in husband wife. I'm not talking about that kind of relationship, but I'm talking about how that spills into your relationship. So you had an issue with your best friend, or you trusted this friend, and then
Yeah.
suddenly it makes you question everyone around you.
Every single one. And then you treat people differently. I want to get the rest of these comments in and address one question back to you. So let me work it like this. Nadia says, you are not alone, Marisha, sweetheart. It happens to us all. Thank you so much. You are right, Marisha. You shut down, isolate yourself, and start beating everyone with the same stick. Absolutely. Absolutely, Janae. Oh, you're right. Felt that. Latoya says, this is really good. I'm so glad you think that. Or pride in the sense of, I don't want anyone throw anything in my face.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it there.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
So you put it out there.
Yeah.
You put it out there. You put it out there. So Latoya asks, she says, help me, Joinae. How do I identify the things in me? She says, I've been trying.
Oh, you mean when I said,
Yeah.
okay, I think for me, let me tell you what I do. I do a major introspection, and I see what you can do is what initially connects you with that person, right? What do you look at like to say, okay, what do we have in common, etc., right? And based on what matches up determines what is a thing in you. So let me make it more plain. For example, I lost my father at the age of 14. Before he died, I was just like, my husband need to be just like my daddy. My husband need to be just like my daddy, right? So everyone I dated, I looked for that
That's good.
that security, right? But it was me being the little child, so to speak, and them taking on a father figure. So you would find someone who was like me, I guess,
Right.
and they would just want that feeling of security. So
Right.
they would go for big husky men that have a fathering spirit.
So is what we seek out.
Is what we seek out. So
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
you can determine what in you is trying to connect
Yeah.
to that person.
I totally
Now,
agree.
if okay, let's say you had a drinking problem and you think that you were delivered, right? That
Right.
person, let's say, is struggling from drinking. And this
Right.
is the thing we know as women and as Christians, we just feel like we could save the world. And we can,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah. Feed the hungry people.
right. And then can a man stand fire in his bosom and not be burnt?
Ugh.
We take on someone who has not been fully delivered from the
Lord
thing that we think that we're delivered
Jesus.
from. And then when we connect with that person, it causes chaos.
Lord
So I think
Jesus.
certain things like that are made you, and it honestly, it requires you telling yourself the truth. Not the truth that you want to tell to your friend that makes you look good, not the truth that you don't want to tell your pastor, not the truth. I'm talking about true, when all the lights are off, all your makeup off, everything off, and you say, listen, this is the truth about me. This is what I'm really seeking after. This is what really hurt me, and this is what I'm looking for in a person. And it doesn't necessarily mean that these things are always loud. You're looking for the things that aren't speaking loud. So that would be my advice.
I think the only thing that I would add to that is this, that you will have to redevelop a new relationship with yourself where you learn to trust your judgment again. Because many of us, when we've been cheated on, we blame it on our judgment, on our ability to tell whether or not this person was being loyal to us or not. And so then we feel like our ability to discern is off. We feel like we can, almost like our ability to see
Yeah,
clearly
like
is
we off.
Yeah, like we feel like how I missed that.
How I get tricked.
Like, how come I didn't see that? And I think it's so important for us to better our relationship with ourselves in
Yeah.
that regard.
Yeah.
In recognizing that somebody else betraying you doesn't mean that you can't trust yourself anymore. That's big. Because many of us don't even realize when we've been cheated on that a part of our difficulty to let somebody else in it's not that we're afraid that necessarily that we're only afraid that somebody's going to do the same thing again. We're afraid that we don't trust ourselves enough
Yeah.
to be able to detect
Yeah.
that this person is not loyal.
Yeah.
And I think that that is something that we often don't talk about because it's not really considered
Yeah.
whether or not we trust ourselves or not. It was definitely is something that I am like dealing with right now that's in front of me. Sometimes I just feel like, Mericha, I can't trust your judgment. And I just called my name and I just spoke to myself in front of all of y'all. Like I can't trust your judgment. Like sometimes you just do stupid stuff.
But I think that goes back to what I said initially.
Yeah.
You have to when you are working on becoming whole, some things you have to tell yourself. "Listen,
Yeah.
it was not your
Yeah.
fault."
Yeah.
And we talk.
But then in some
But hold on, Mericha.
use this friend that I have. I'm telling you, this friend that I have tell me. She tells me all the time. How can two walk together? Except
Something.
they agree. There is something, and I hate saying this because I don't like it.
It's and mind you, it doesn't always have to be bad. You know.
I don't like it. But what? Okay, so for example, in a not too distant past, I recognized that my insecurities attracted insecurities. Big light. Woo! Wow. Okay. You wear your insecurity on your sleeve. That insecure man is gonna see something that he connects to, and it's like, yay, let's have an insecurity party. Like, you know?
But it's masked as I'm trying to help.
Or it's masked as I feel you. I feel you. I got
Right.
you.
And then it's set
And
up.
there's that, there's that like connecting point there. And so there is this other part where like we have to admit how great and powerful we are, in that our existence, whether it's great, whether it's struggly, whether it's crappy, our existence can attract our existence attracts what's for us and what's not for us at the same time. And it is the Holy Spirit on the inside of us that will give us the discernment to choose what's for us and not what's against us. And I don't know if my single friends out there really understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, like, you could be the greatest version of yourself or the worst version of yourself. And believe it or not, you will attract the person who is right for you, and you will also attract the person who is not right for
It's really
you,
giving Ishmael
all
Isaac.
at the same
Yeah.
time. And you have to be the one to say, I'm going to sit down and take my time and figure out what's right for me and what's not right for me.
And I think too, like what works for me, stick with your first thought.
Child, I can't do that.
Okay. Usually, like if someone
You can do that? Good. Good.
because that's how God works with
Yeah.
me,
No, child,
right?
no.
For me, first thought. If my first thought is, listen, it's right here as a setup.
Ooh, child.
Don't fool with this.
Child, I can't do that.
Boom, 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 boom. And I'll say again, any relationship. First thought, there's a setup, red flag.
I won't do that.
And then two,
You have to know how God speaks to you. That's basically what you're saying. You
yeah,
gotta
and
know.
then something you said earlier, I wanted to piggyback on. I think it's like it was one of our early shows, like where we talked about deception,
Right.
red flag,
Yeah.
red flags.
Child, don't ignore them.
Don't ignore them. And
Even
don't
if the flag ain't red, even if it pink,
listen,
magenta,
but don't
if
feel,
it auburn,
don't feel like
Burnt
because you
umber.
pass one red flag, you won't see another.
orange flag. Listen, as long as it's close to red or in the family of red, don't ignore it.
Okay, Jania
Shoot,
says
if
my
it's a-
first
If
My
it's a
f-
blue flag,
my first thought isn't always good.
yeah.
See, for me, it works different. My first thought usually don't lead me wrong.
Good point, Mericha. Have to trust ourselves again. That's a big deal. It is. It's major. And I the only reason I could say that with such conviction is because it's a process that I'm going through right now. Like, I mean, I ain't trying to put too much of my business out there, but the truth is, like, I'm going through a phase in my life. I can't trust Marisha's judgment all the time. Like Mericha, like in her flesh. I can't trust her judgment.
So that's why you need the Holy Ghost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But there's a difference between me being the individual who relies on the Holy Ghost daily and me being in a relationship with myself where I don't trust myself. That's two totally different things.
I understand.
And so
But I think one still rules out the
one
other.
rules out the other. But here's the thing. The Holy Spirit can speak and Mericha will still ask herself, you sure you had the Holy Ghost? You sure that just wasn't you? You sure that was God talking to you? Go read your Bible again. Go pray again. Because you ain't that good. Go ahead again.
A double-minded man.
Yeah.
But I mean-
Absolutely.
But you saying, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, all right. I'll say that for another day.
Absolutely.
We have to learn to trust ourselves again.
We have to learn to trust ourselves again. Because and like Joinae is trying to get me to a place where I see it, but I'm telling you, this is where I am right now. I don't trust her. She crazy. She's too stupid stuff. Like,
Anything is likely.
yeah, like, well, no, not anything. No, I ain't gonna make it. It ain't that bad, but
For some.
yeah. But you have to know, like, what is your relationship like with yourself? So he cheated, y'all. He
Now
cheated, and
Some decided to stay. Some decided to move on.
bottom line in the fact that he cheated, whether you stay or go, you gotta let it go. You're gonna have to get over it.
You know why? Because it's crippling you. It's causing you not to function.
You're gonna have to let it go. You stay or you leave. You're gonna have to get it over. Get over it. Get over it. And you're gonna have to forgive. You have to. Or you gonna, like, what the caller say? So I'm going to hell for nobody.
Nobody.
Cause I mean, you're gonna have to let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
This who like song?
Latoya says, give yourself a break, Mo. Aw. Speak truth, but positivity too, or it will have a hold. No, here's the thing. I get you. I received that. I'm speaking truth, and I'm speaking it from a positive place. Here's why I say what I said was a positive place. 2 weeks ago, I couldn't even admit I didn't trust Mericha. 2 weeks ago, I was still pretending as if that did not exist. And I think sometimes we are not willing to say or voice the bad thing about ourselves because we're being too spiritual.
I'm not prideful.
Yeah, no. What the song say? You're too bad, man. No, I had
Pride.
to admit that.
Pride.
And let me tell you, it is coming from the most healthy place. Like, from the most positive place. I'm not beating up on myself. I am not gonna come off this show and cry and be like, oh, no. I needed to admit to myself, no, you carrying baggage.
Yeah.
Like, you holding on to stuff. Like, no, people have done you stuff, and that's why you can't trust you, and
Yeah.
you need to deal with that.
Yeah.
You need to deal with that, and I think we all need to be able to have those conversations with ourselves, babe.
And tell the truth.
Don't lie. My
Don't
God,
lie to
you
yourself,
can lie to other
woman.
people. At least tell the truth to yourself.
At least.
Be honest with you. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. I ain't beating up on me
Okay.
because you see, I ain't even cry.
I dry.
And y'all know I like to cry. I ain't cry for nothing. Cry for nothing. Y'all, we gotta go. Lord Jesus, we talk long.
This is a good show today.
This was so good.
I enjoyed myself.
We have to let it go, y'all. He cheated. Now what?
Okay,
let it
so
go.
before we leave, what does letting it go look like? Just
Take the time to process it because when you let it go, you're not picking it back up. So take your time. Take your time. Go ask the questions you need to ask. If you stay in, ask the questions you need to ask. Put the parameters in. establish your boundaries, establish your standards, all of that. Do whatever. Make the relationship make sense. If you're gonna leave, then leave. Don't go back. If you're gonna leave, if that's your decision, if you make
But
up
some
in
people
your
feel like
mind,
leaving is the healing, and then once they heal, and then they go back.
you like play with people's emotions. Anyway, if you're gonna leave, actually walk away from it for real. Do the healing that you need to do, but
Yeah.
make sure that there's reconciliation.
Mm.
Reconciliation looks different for everybody. Okay? Reconciliation doesn't necessarily mean that y'all need to be buddy-buddy. It don't mean that y'all need to be best friends.
I mean, some people don't even want to speak to this person ever again in life. Like they don't exist.
You gonna have to be able to say good afternoon and good morning. You gonna have to be.
How you doing this too much?
I mean, in the Bahamas, no.
Okay.
It goes according to your culture.
Yeah. Okay.
Because,
Okay.
I mean,
You can say that one
a
line.
stranger will get, morning, 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 how you doing?
How you doing? You all right? Yeah.
And not wait for an answer. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the way we greet people. Morning, morning, morning.
How you doing?
How you doing? What you saying, babe?
All is well.
All is well? We ain't even waiting for the person to say, yes, all is well. No, but seriously, like you're gonna have to, you're not reconciling to because at the end of the day they win. You're reconciling because you need to get over it. Like you
Yeah.
need to move on with your life. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to reconcile. When I reconciled with my ex fiance, it was because he was like in this whole custody battle situation. He's like, can you pray? And I can't tell somebody, no, I can't pray.
That's a good kid.
Yeah.
Good kid.
Yeah. 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 And so that's how I ended up, that's how the reconciliation process began, because isn't it interesting that God can show you his heart for somebody who has hurt you and it completely changed your heart towards them. It's possible. It's possible for God to show you his heart for an individual and it changed your heart toward them.
The reconciliation was before or after the prayer?
After. I said yes to the prayer because I can't say no when somebody asks
feel
me
like,
to pray for
I
them.
feel like for you it would probably be different, but I feel like if I guess it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Right? So for some,
But a child was involved, so I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to pray for this child.
no, I don't feel no, it's not no, I'm not going to pray. It's just that listen, I will pray, but I just want you to know like I forgive you and I want you to forgive me, kind of.
Oh, I did that afterwards because let me tell you what happened.
It wasn't a space.
So let me tell you what happened. When he asked me to pray, first of all, the fact that I took the phone call was a miracle. So let's go down. Number one. Number two, when he asked me to pray, I prayed earnestly for the sake of the child. And as I started to pray concerning the child, God started to change my heart, the hardness of my heart towards him in that regard. And then what ended up happening is I started, hey, so what's happened? Any change? Like, give me an update. Like, what's happening with the custody situation, so on and so forth. And then he would start telling me about like how he's so frustrated and his heart is so broken and he just wants to be with his child, blah, 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 blah. And the more he exposed his heart to me carnally, the more God started to speak to me concerning the situation because I was praying about it. And then I said to him, I said, like, I have forgiven you for what you have done. And then when we had that conversation, I also had to say to him, but I just need you to know that my forgiveness does not mean we're getting back together. I just needed to make that clear to you.
Jesus be offense.
No, I had to because he was like, he started to get excited. And I was like, push, brakes.
So did you really come for prayers?
Push, brakes, pull the emergency brake.
Anyway,
Right? And so we went through that process and now, good friends.
okay, my point is this. The Bible talks about lay a gift to the altar, go and reconcile, etc.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So I feel like while that may have worked for you, there are some other persons that, like myself, when I say some other person, I really, we would need to just get that clear first.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't want to pray for someone that, but I guess in the sense it's sort of different because we weren't praying directly for him.
No, I was praying for the child.
Yeah, who did nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Did
Completely
nothing,
innocent.
but
Now, I want to sleep. There have been people that I have been livid at. Like,
yeah.
I would run them over with my car. I shouldn't be saying that on the radio.
No.
But I
No.
had the thought. And I turned around and prayed for them. And my prayer for them
See, that's scary for me.
allowed me to release the anger
That's scary for me.
and the
'Cause
rage.
whenever the way I sing. You know what? You go run me over your car and then come with you and pray for me. Don't pray for me. Tell me that you wanted to run me over with your car.
Because you're
and-
thinking that me being angry is equal to me not caring, and that's not what it is. I'm angry because I care.
It just
So it's easy to turn care into prayer.
okay. So it makes
You can't turn apathy and indifference easily into prayer.
Okay, Mericha, my point is this. Don't try to run me over the car and then say you're gonna pray for me. Because I don't want your prayers. I'm afraid
I
of
hear
you.
you.
That means
I hear you.
You see what I mean? Like that's the way my mind's set up, and
I hear you. I hear you.
let's reconcile. Let's talk about it. What what I did to make you really want to run me over?
I don't want to talk about that.
See, this is why true reconciliation
Yeah,
don't
I would talk about
happen.
that. I would talk about that. I
And then
disagree with you.
we be deep.
But everybody's different, right? Everybody is different. Some of us need face-to-face reconciliation, and then some of us need God to face reconciliation.
But how can you do one without the other? Who go into God and not go into people? Who go into people and not go into
Yeah,
God?
there's some people that I ain't going back to, though.
But these are the same people who say you got to pray for if they come.
No, I can pray for them, but you're going to make a fool out of me.
Not go back. Just go back to be like, be cool. Forgiven.
Yeah. But you think you have to go and tell somebody that they're forgiven? You think you have to do that?
No, I'm saying like if we have to coexist. If
No, we don't have to coexist.
If you
That person, I didn't have to coexist with them.
and like life and
I only
You
was
know?
praying for them because somebody in their family died. And I was like, oh,
Rachel,
Jesus.
okay, catch you some good girlfriends. Simmer, should I go on laugh right now?
No, I'm being serious.
I know you serious.
I'm being serious. That's why I was praying, because the family member died.
Get you some good girlfriends who will tell you the truth. Who will tell you that it's necessary for you to forgive. Who will tell you that it's necessary for you to grow from this spot.
And let it go.
And truly let it go. Because the other day when Mericha FaceTime me screaming, Joinae, you wouldn't believe. And I had to keep my composure. Be that girlfriend
Yeah.
that keeps her composure.
Yes.
Because everything in me wanted to shout with Mericha on the FaceTime
Yep.
too.
Absolutely.
But we all need that girlfriend that keeps us stable, that keeps us leveled, that isn't afraid to say, man, listen, you were wrong here.
Yeah.
But I will give you credit here.
Yeah.
Get you some good girlfriends.
Yeah. And then don't forget to be that girlfriend too. Like, be that girlfriend who your friend could call you and be like, you would not believe what this. Da, 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 da. And I want to say this. When you are being that girlfriend, we've never added this to the end of the show, but I think this is necessary. When you're going to be that girlfriend and your girlfriend comes to you and she vents to you and she says to you what has happened, and if she forgives, you have to too.
Mericha, I ain't gonna lie, you gotta give me some time.
You are not allowed to hold a grudge if the girlfriend who vented to you has forgiven and she is reconciled, because this is what has happened. She come tell you what her husband do or what her boyfriend do or what her fiance do, and then she goes and reconciles, but you can't forgive. If you're gonna be that girlfriend, when she releases and lets go, you do the same. No, you got to. You have to.
Right. Tell me right.
You have to. You have to. You have to, Brianna. You have to. It's not fair. It's not fair. Not if you want to be a good friend and support. Lord Jesus. Help us, Lord. No, that's necessary. If you're going to be that girlfriend, like, be her for real. Be the girlfriend that is going to walk the journey with your friend.
Okay, I ain't there yet.
Of forgiveness. When your friend goes through the journey of forgiveness, walk with your friend. Be the shoulder for her to cry on while she's walking through her forgiveness. Be there for her. Don't just expect somebody to be there for you and you don't be there for her.
No, I
Do
could,
it.
I could be there, but
Be that
I
girlfriend.
could be there, but yeah.
Be that girlfriend. Because you wouldn't want nobody to do it to you. Be that girlfriend. Be her. Yes, I know you don't want to do it. I heard that. I heard that in that Jesus, Brianna. I heard that in that Me Too Joinae, Latoya. I heard it in that Say What? Forgive from you, Denisha. I heard it in that Why, Brianna.
Yeah, please do what it's
Chelsea say no, mom. It depends.
I am Latoya.
Latoya say I'm gonna be mad on her behalf.
There must
Lord
be a
Jesus.
representative. Thank you.
Lord Jesus. Anyway, this sounded like this other conversation we was having the other day when y'all wanted to be like Peter instead of being like Jesus. Cause this would just sound like y'all would be
Phew.
cutting off people air. Stop
Phew.
cutting off people air. Let it go. No, everybody got to let it go.
Honestly, Mericha, I ain't know if I there yet. I ain't know if I there yet.
Oh, everybody gotta let it go. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. But you gotta be that girlfriend, man. You have to.
Next week.
What we have coming up?
It's you.
Me, I gotta do this. Today's the 6, eh? Okay. So next week on Girl Talk is we're talking about toxicity all day. Am I toxic? Yes, you are. So let's talk about what your toxic.
Yes, you are.
Your toxic trait is. This really should be I am toxic. What's your toxic trait?
Right. Right. We're gonna
Not
change that for
am I.
next week.
Not am I, but I am toxic. What's your toxic trait? And then the following week, which is the 20th, oh Lord, this could be good. I can't stop fornicating, single and safe. Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost and fire.
I'd say I like sing. And then the one that we've all been waiting for. On October 27th, Is He Really Single? Part 2.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
got it now. Okay. Yeah, so we have that coming up. Those are the things coming up on Girl Talk. It's been an amazing show. For all of you, for your lovely comments, we appreciate you. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Jeez.
Stephanie say, I letting it go after cutting the air.
Right.
Julianne say she's from the south side of heaven, baby girl. I can't make promises. And Chelsea says, no, if he abusing and using you, it's a no for me. I think this gonna need a part 2. Anyway,
I wasn't gonna say because I say everything need a part 2, so I wasn't gonna say it.
I think we can need a part 2 for this.
Since you said,
We can figure out. We can figure out what the part 2 look like. We love y'all. It's been an amazing show. We'll be back next week, Thursday, same time, same place, with another amazing topic and show. But until then, y'all, we gone.
see ya.
Final try.